Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. We're gonna get started with the midweek market update. We're gonna go start it in about 30 seconds or so, and then we'll take it from there. All right. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone is well. As always, I'm gonna go over my live positions, and I'm only in euro dollar now. I just updated everyone in my Telegram. I was able to pretty much take a break even on Cardano. So my scale in entry here on Cardano took a 1% loss. My original position was 1% profit. So basically it's a break even on both trade. Now, some can argue that after the scale in entry, I can move it to break even. I don't think so. I want to give the price a little bit more room to correct. So I'm fine taking a 1% loss on the scale in position, but my original position was at 1% profit. So basically cancel each other out. So I'm fine with the result. I'll kind of still take a look at what the price will do in the near future. But sometimes that happens with crypto, and I'm fine with the result in terms of trading because like I told everyone, I've been holding Cardano from the bottom. So all this run has been happening. So it's pretty good for investors. Very good for investor that's been holding the coin. That's Cardano. The trade I update everyone on Monday. So the only trade that I am live right now is euro dollar, right? Euro dollar is the trade that I'm currently live. This is the original position I got for Monday, and then I got in a scale in position here on Tuesday, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I got a Tuesday scale in position. So I just two trade running right now. Looks like the second scale in is about break even. First trade is running about 2% right now, if I can see correctly, 2%. And yeah, so that's what's going on for the positions. In terms of this week, midweek market update, you can see on my right here, I don't really have too much on watch. Now, I saw a bunch of you guys got in on the Aussie position or the Kiwi position, whether you got in on Euro Aussie or Euro Kiwi or Pound Aussie or Pound Kiwi or Aussie Swiss or Kiwi Swiss. So very good job on you guys. Whoever caught those, I saw a bunch of screenshot in my Telegram that you guys caught. So very good job on you guys. I personally didn't catch any of those, but I'm happy that you guys follow your plan and follow your management and you caught those. So very good job on your part. Let's dig into the market update now. If no other things are happening, I think it's already about 14:05 GMT. Today will be relatively a little bit quicker. As you can see, I don't have too much on watch and I don't have too much going on the indices either. And commodity, I just have silver and gold to talk about. So not too much, but let's see what we can identify this midweek market update. All right, so very happy to see you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Very happy to see you all. So let's get started here. We're gonna start with dollar index. Dollar index will be the first one to start. I will talk about gold, so let me finish all the Forex pairs and I'll jump into commodity, indices, crypto in that order. So if you can see, this is how I always do my stream, hopefully in the future. Current position running, Forex, commodity, indices, crypto, and a quick Q&A if possible. Hello, hello. So let's get started now, if I can. Just let me see. So let's start with dollar index. So remember on Monday we talked about that the potential dollar index here that we could get a bearish move on dollar index. And now we talk about here on Monday being the weekly update, the weekly outlook that we have a higher time frame double top, we have a ascending channel, and if we look on the price, we have almost like a rising wedge impulse down. It looks like this is a continuation correction. Correction after breakout, one of my entries I always talk about in my ebook or in my videos. Very, very clean, I think almost textbook-like. Remember, when we look for confluences, when we look for higher time frame, multi-time frame analysis, you want as many positive confluence that's stacked in your favor, right? So we have impulsive move down, we have a larger kind of a flag continuation correction, we have a double top on the higher time frame, we have a ascending channel, and then within the ascending channel there is rising wedge, and then after rising wedge, impulsively break out of the ascending channel, and then lower time frame continuation. See how many good confluence, positive confluence I just identified in dollar index here. So all that should be stacked with you in your favor, because that's how we going to enter these higher probability trades rather than mediocre. Remember, trading is always about probability. If you enter a trade, there's always going to be a probability of you winning and a probability of you losing. But you want to change that favorable to you, right? So although you might see a 1 minute, 5 minute flag that people will take, but does it align with higher time frame? Does it make sense to enter? If it does not, then from a higher time frame perspective, you shouldn't enter those, because you want to make sure the confluence is stacked favorable against with you rather than it's against you. So that's what I see on dollar index. It's pretty similar to what I see on Monday. I still favor this potential downside. I think this is a very easy kind of scale entry position if you guys are into something like this. Just very similar like euro dollar, right? Euro dollar is basically just invert related to what's going on here on dollar index, but it's the same idea in my opinion. So let's continue. Let's continue here. So euro dollar, we talk about the entry, we talk about the scaling position. I think the long upside move here is still looking pretty clean. We have a impulsive move breaking out of that ascending channel, and then we have a lower time frame continuation, right? That's my scaling position. And it looks like this is just making a bigger continuation. So to me, it looks like that this is just forming a bigger flag, or however you want to call it. But a consolidation here is good, because if this breaks out and then continue, I do expect this to push up to the high here. Okay, so we'll see how pretty much today goes in this London session. I mean, sorry, in New York session. We had a little bit push up on the side. This is good, right? So let the price consolidate here if it's going to. And then if we can actually break out of sorry, I can't talk. If we do break out from this correction here, then I do expect further upside from the price. So we'll see how that goes. You can see my stop loss is where it is right now. Second scale rate is still at 1%. I mean 1% loss. The original trade, I just have a stop loss about, I think, 0.5% profit or so. But we'll see how this moves. If this is going to dramatically drop like this, I will just move my first trade stop loss to about 1%, and then they will cancel each other out as just like Cardano. But we'll see how it goes, right? We're still at the beginning of this New York session, so we'll see how the trade goes, right? Two position running, two trade running, and then we'll just see how the market will do in this next 1 hour, 2 hours or so. So let's continue here. Let's continue here. So a few dollar position that you guys, someone was mentioning, I can talk about them quickly, but you can see I don't have too much on watch. Okay, so dollar Swiss, someone mentioned about dollar Swiss for a sell. I personally is really not digging it. What's going on here personally? Like I don't really see a better pattern here. Now remember, some of you guys got in on this potential buy here. This was great that you guys caught. It looks like a pretty clean impulsive move, larger correction, and then lower time frame descending channel. Push it upside, and then a lot of you guys got in on this buy, and then I'll take profit here. Now, in terms of what's going on here, it's a little bit indecisive, I want to say. Like this can be viewed as a potential up move and then continue upward. That's one way of looking at it. Or you can think of it as a reversal impulse, and this could be something that's developing like that. So I don't really favor what's going on here. I'm having a hard time to identifying structure here. For me personally, I'm better to leave it alone. I'm not seeing too much confluence in this area. Let's move on. So dollar, Singapore dollar. This is one of the one that I pointed out on Monday as well. It looks like it is pushing down. So I like how everything is looking very clean with a nice impulsive move, larger kind of expanding correction. And then we have an impulse up, reversal impulse, continuation correction, and looks like this is breaking out now to continue. It is looking pretty good. It's breaking out now. I think there was a entry here in my opinion after I looked back at it. I did not enter this. I did scale into euro dollar, so I didn't enter this position. But when I look back at it, I think this is fine. This is a correction after breakout, right? Typical entry that I always talk about. But I think it's pretty good to look for price to see if they're going to hit this bottom. And then if it's going to continue down more, then I do expect we could potentially hit the low here. Okay, so remember, every time I talk about dollar positions or yen positions, I always talk about filtering them and choosing the best pair or so. Because if the dollar either going to get strength or if it's going to get weakness, more likely they're all going to move relatively the same. So there's no point entering all the dollar position. You're going to choose the best one or two. To me, this is very, very clean. Sometimes people ask me about different pairs, and I would always say that um, there's better position or better dollar pair that I will get involved with rather than that particular one that someone is asking me about. All right. Like you said, my friend, I'm gonna finish the forex position and I'm gonna jump into commodity. Okay. So, like I said, this is the order that I'm gonna do the live stream. This is easier for people that they're going to watch it later or rewatch later. So there's some sort of order, but I will get to gold and silver. Dogecoin as well. It's going to be the last crypto I'm going to talk about, but I will go over them as well. So let's continue here. Really not much going on the yen pairs. I think the yen pairs are basically reversing, and they're reversing similarly because like their corresponding currency is reversing. So whatever currency that's paired with the yen, it's going up right now, and that's pretty much why the yens are also getting weakened. So, like I said, like if Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar is going up, then the Aussie and Kiwi yen are going up as well. So, not too much on see on watch here. I don't really see much going on here, but I think what we can look out for some of these is that if it's going to form some sort of continuation, I do expect this can continue going higher. Very similar like Kiwi Yen here. Like basically we had a push down and then a reversal, right? And same thing from last week. If you guys call, a bunch of us took the CAD Yen position or any other Yen pair for the impulsive move. And when it started reversing, we know that's where we're going to take profit, right? Similarly, what I'm seeing here on most of the Yen pairs are looking a little bit bullish. Someone asked about Euro Yen long, and I do agree Euro Yen is looking like it's going reverse, right? We have all this move coming down from the top, right? All the way from the top here, going to reach this kind of bottom. Looks like it's forming a potential double bottom here, and there is a kind of a falling wedge kind of structure here, impulsively up, looking like this is some sort of consolidation and it's pushing up higher. Again, that's if it fits your plan, I think that's okay because we do have a good higher time frame kind of double bottom here, and we have some good reversal opportunity, right? We have double bottom, we have falling wedge, we have impulse up, and it looks like there's consolidation. Now, I think on Monday when I talk about these yen position is that although a short-term reversal is possible, but the downside move is still pretty strong. That meaning that even if this continue going up, it may not just start going up like this. It could just correctly move up and then potentially forming a bigger structure, right? So we always have to take into what the higher time frame is doing. Remember, the higher time frame is still looking kind of bearish, right? Because we have a higher time frame double top, higher time frame ascending channel, reversal down now from the higher time frame. It's just that we know the price won't drop in a straight line. It has to move down, correct, impulse, correct, impulse, correct. That is how the price moves. So although we see a lower time frame potential double bottom and it can continue going up, but I'm just not sure this is going to be a full-on reversal and break the high. Not very likely, at least judging by what's going on right now on the current price action. So if you're going to enter these buy positions, just understand you need to take profit when applicable because price can easily reach up here, maybe just forming a smaller correction and go down, or maybe forming a bigger correction and go down. But either way, the higher time frame does still look bearish, right? Although lower time frame can have a smaller short-term bullish up move. All right, so that is Euro Yen, and I really don't see much else on any of the yen pairs. Like if it does form a continuation here, I think it's okay, but that's not something that I would enter. Really doesn't fit my plan when I when the price is against the higher time frame, right? Most of these yen pairs were at some double top, were at some reversal structures. Even CAD yen was looking pretty clean with that head and shoulder we talked about as well. So a lot of yen pairs, although on the lower time frame, does give you a little bit of bullish price action. But I mean, on the higher time frame, it still ultimately looks bearish, right? This little bit move up on the price can easily be something like this, right? Can push up here and form a bigger correction and still go down. And you don't want to get trapped in this consolidation zone. Any question here, guys, on dollar or the yen pair so far? Everyone, as someone mentioned the sound isn't working, can everyone just confirm with me the sound is working, please? Thank you. Sound is good. Is the sound good for everyone? Just confirm with me if you don't mind. On YouTube as well. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So let's continue now. Let's continue down to Euro pairs, Euro Kiwi. Euro Kiwi, so a lot of you guys got in on either Euro Kiwi or Euro Aussie, whether you got in from here or here. Not sure, but good job on your part following your plan to capture these. Personally, I didn't capture these, but I'm happy that you guys follow your plan to get involved with it. Now it's looking like a lot of these are pushing down pretty fast, pretty impulsively, right? So I think here is a good idea to see if we're going to get consolidation here. Prefer the bigger the correction, the better it is, right? Because the move has already happened, in my opinion. So don't try to jump in while the move has already happened. Like to me, like this is quite a bit move, right? About almost 250 pips. While there is some lower time frame corrections, right? These are the corrections in the middle. If you haven't get involved in these, I think it's better to wait for a bigger consolidation, and that's going to give you a better sell opportunity towards the next previous low. Okay. Remember on Monday, one of the main reasons I personally didn't get involved on these pairs is that although I see all the double tops or something that most likely everyone is seeing, personally, I just don't like how this bullish move up is quite sharp, right? Remember I talked about I would prefer the move up correctively to that double top and then reverse down. That's usually my go-to setup, one of the setups I usually look for. But because the price move up very impulsively, all this price action at the time could just be a correction before the next upside. And that's why personally I didn't enter. But now that it looks like it's a pretty much a reversal impulse now, which is great, right? So good job on your part to hold it. Now we're at this consolidation. If we can just consolidate here a little bit longer or deeper, I think that's good for the price to continue lower. And I would say it's the same thing with Euro Kiwi. Remember on Monday when I update everyone in the Telegram, I mentioned Kiwi looks slightly better in terms of the price. They usually going to have that same double top like the Aussie pairs, but I think there was a little bit more structure, price action involved here. There is a reversal correction here on Euro Kiwi, push down the price, forming a correction here. So maybe some of you guys got in on this one. I wasn't at the chart during this time. Price push down now, which is good. So if it's going to form another correction here, I think it's fine to enter this, but just understanding that price can easily hit the bottom here and then potentially reverse back up again. So you want to be careful. Even though we already identified the fact that price is pretty much, this is likely to be a bearish continuation, right? Remember the self on the top here, self on the top, correction, impulse down again, and this can just be a larger kind of parallel channel to correct all this move and continue lower. But there's always a tendency, there's a probability that the price can hit the bottom and then reverse back up. And for the structure, price action point of view, nothing changes. You're just going to be looking to see if it's going to reverse from the top here and make another move down afterwards. All right, so that's Euro Kiwi. I think it's fine to kind of wait to see what's going on here and then possibly give you another correction to look for the sell. Okay, so that's Euro Kiwi. That's really the only Euro pair. Until we talk about Euro Aussie, we talk about Euro Kiwi. Someone asked about Pound Aussie. Sure. Some Pound Aussie. Again, I think the Kiwi ones are usually slightly better in terms of price. In my opinion, I think Pound Kiwi, which I update everyone in Telegram, was slightly better than Pound Aussie because it has that same kind of double top like Euro Kiwi. And there was, I didn't like how there is all this kind of consolidation. I would prefer to be a quick continuation and then push down. But in this case, it's still consolidated, right? It's still consolidated and then still move down, right? Sometimes that's what happens. The price or the market, it's never going to give you perfect scenario, right? It's going to move however it wants to do. But every time when we look back at the charts, when we do some chart reviews or do some back testing, we understand that this is still a consolidation, even though it's not some textbook, flag or whatever that we're usually going to see. But it's the same idea, right? This is still an impulsive move. This is still a correction, and this is still an impulsive move. That's something that we just have to acknowledge and recognize. Now, we're at the bottom here, so it's going to be a little bit more careful because either we're going to get consolidation here that potentially push out, that's good to see, or we're just going to repeat the same process every time when I hit the bottom here. Price tends to reverse back up, right? That's what it has been doing all this time. So you just have to be careful here is whatever, even if it forms a correction here, there's still a tendency that it could just reverse back up. So I think the best case scenario here is wait for the price to break out completely and wait for a solid bearish continuation correction, and then look for the sell. I think that's just going to be a way better selling opportunity, a way better entry than than getting in here when it's at the bottom. Okay, same thing as here. You see how like there's a consolidation at the bottom here, but just didn't get pushed out and instead just had a big reversal. So be careful in this kind of area or situation where price can reverse back up and just make another push to the upside before the downside. And as I always say, from a price action point of view, as long as we're in a kind of high time frame consolidation, high time frame correction, nothing changes, right, from our view because the bearish move is there, the correction is still there as well. Okay, so if I was going to choose pound Aussie or pound Kiwi, I would definitely choose pound Kiwi. Pound Aussie, on the other hand, it's kind of similar like Euro Aussie, right? Some of you guys probably got in on the sell here. Again, I think other than potential, I don't know how you guys see this, but other than the fact that there is a potential reversal, there's no kind of higher time frame top or bigger structure, at least from my point of view, to back this. And that's why I didn't get involved. But again, follow your plan and follow what you're due, right? So if you caught in on this, good. I think it is up to the price now to see if we're going to get consolidation here. If you get a consolidation here, I think that's great to look for another downside, to see the bottom here, to the low here, and look to see if price is going to give you a bigger head and shoulder to go down after. So if you do get in on the sell here, remember this is the low here now, right? So don't try to hold through the low. Usually after this kind of price action, we're going to get a bigger consolidation and push down and just creates a bigger head and shoulder pattern, right? So that's pound Aussie. And that is basically all the Forex pairs I have on watch. Very little. I don't have too much on watch. Unless you guys have anything you want me to take a look. But other than the ones that I mentioned here on Forex, Euro pound long, sure. Okay. Euro pound long. Not sure if some of you guys are still in the Euro pound long. I remember last week a lot of you guys got in, or at least some of you guys got in from the buy here or the buy here. It looks like it's still pushing up. Now, there's still a little bit of room to the top, so I think it's okay if you're still in the trade to see what the price will do when it reach the top. Something to be considerate, though, I guess it's kind of what's going on here. Is that we have a push up to the price that's almost look like a little bit ascending kind of structure. Impulse down from the price, and don't know if this is going to be some sort of consolidation in this way, or this can just be kind of a pullback here and then eventually price reverse back up. It's a little bit hard to tell at this point. Now, if you're not in the buy here, I don't suggest buying now because you're basically halfway through this correction, right? See this correction that you're currently in, you're already halfway through. So I think the buy already happened, right? So if you missed the buy, I don't recommend buying now. But if you're holding the trade still, I think it's fine to hold the trade. It's just that this area it's a little bit off. It almost looks like this is a reversal impulse. And whatever is going on here, it's forming some sort of bearish correction. All right, so that's kind of how I see on Euro Pound. Someone asked about Aussie Cat, right? Aussie Cat earlier and Kiwi Cat. So Aussie Cat, Kiwi Cat, not too favorable. I think it's just kind of corrective in this kind of a structure or descending channel. We broke this bottom here, which is kind of good because this could be a reason double bottom here. Prices in this descending channel. So you want to see if this is going to impulsively break and then correction to go higher, right? Other than that, there's really not much else that is looking pretty clean. We did break below this higher time frame double bottom, but all this price action here hasn't really convinced me of a bullish breakout yet. Right? We did have this bullish kind of push out from the price, but this correction doesn't look like it's finished yet. So I would kind of wait till if it breaks above and then lower time frame correction to push up to the next high. Other than that, I'm really not interested in Aussie Cat. You can see all this sell that has already happened. So I do agree there is potential reversal here because this move has already happened, but I'm not buying or I'm not buying in terms of the price yet. I'm not seeing something that convinced me at this moment. I would say probably it's going to be the same as Kiwi Cat, except Kiwi Cat isn't even looking that cleaner than Aussie Cat. Aussie Cat, at least there is a bottom here, there is some structure here. Whereas Kiwi Cat, I'm not seeing too much of a long opportunity. There is consolidation here, but this almost looked like a consolidation to go lower rather than upwards, at least from my point of view. Like I'm not really seeing any structure at this point. So I leave it kind of just open and want to see what's going on. I think the bearish move happened and this is just a consolidation. We don't know if this is going to form into something like this to go lower. So I'm not really seeing or I'm not really digging the buy opportunity here from my view. Last one, Cat Swiss for the sell. I think Cat Swiss was a little bit off. I was interested in the sell. I was interested in the sell. I have this kind of a almost like a pendant structure. It reversed down. Looks like there's a correction here. Push to the downside, but again, it's the same thing. It had this kind of bullish reversal, right? Bullish reversal kind of price action. It's very similar like a lot of these yen pairs or the Aussie Kiwi pairs where they had this like really strong bullish reversal. I think it's the same what's going on here on Cat Swiss. Bullish reversal, and if it's going to consolidate here for a continuation correction, then I'm really not interested in this one at all. And it looks like it's an impulse down, reversal impulse. If it form correction here, this can easily just be another push out for the price. So I'm not really digging the sell here, in my opinion. Make sure you guys put the direction of the pair that you're looking at. Okay, make sure you put the direction long or short if you want me to take a look. Because I'm not here to. I would prefer you guys all have your own analysis and direction instead of just kind of looking at what I would do. That's how we're going to grow and improve together. Okay. So Swiss yen, I think a lot of you guys are looking to sell here. I'm sure probably from other people that are talking about it or whatever, but I'm really having a hard time seeing the sell here yet. Okay, and I do agree from the higher time frame. A higher time frame still looking pretty clean. Impulse that moved down, larger parallel channel, ascending channel. So all that is good from a long-term higher time frame perspective, which is I've been talking about it for a month, right? In this video talk about this since June, so almost pretty much 2 years. Been talking about this 2 months now, but I recognize what's going on here. I like how there is an impulsive move. This is a bigger, higher time frame kind of consolidation, And then there is kind of a double top here, push down from the price, and this looks like what's going to form into some sort of continuation to go lower. But I'm just not finding myself looking at this. I can't even want to, like, I'm failing to join any structure here. I understand there is something going on here, but I'm really not seeing the sell, right? I'm really just not seeing the reversal at this moment. Maybe this can form into something like this and then reverse down. I don't know, but to what I at least saw some of you guys are talking about, I'm not really seeing the sell, at least from this perspective. So I would prefer, if this is going to kind of make a bigger structure now, something like this, then I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with kind of seeing what's going on here. Preferably has to be a reversal down in correction, go lower or something, or maybe a little bit more consolidation would be nice, and then looking for the sell. But at this given moment, at this current stage, I'm really not seeing the sell at the moment. Okay, so that's Swiss yen. So let's continue here. So gold, I will go over right after I finish Forex, so just give me a little bit time. Dollar CAD, looking for long on dollar CAD, a reversal. I think it's too early to look for reversal because this is a strong bearish push down from the price, right? If we look at overall higher time frame, this is a higher time frame double top now, and this is a sharp reversal impulse. Now, it all depends on what the lower time frame is doing. So to me, if it's going to consolidate it here a little bit longer, then it's going to go down further down, right? It's pretty much how the price always going to react. So if you're to zoom in on the lower time frame, well, there's probably some lower time frame buying. I'm not going to zoom in anymore lower. It's just that these lower time frame is just like what we talk about on a couple other pairs. While there's going to be some lower time frame movement, but you gotta still factor in what's going on the higher time frame. So to me, this higher time frame impulse or reversal impulse, remember we talk about when you have an impulse and move up, if it's not followed by continuation, if it's not followed by reversal, it basically had a reversal impulse down, and if it's followed by some sort of continuation, this move has this kind of price action has a very, very strong probability of playing out. Okay, so but it's nothing is here for certain, right? We're still kind of waiting for price to do if it's going to consolidate here. It's very likely to consolidate here because judging by how far the move has already dropped down, it's about 360 pips, so that's quite a bit. So naturally, how the market will move is a correction here. So I don't recommend, at least from my point of view, I don't recommend buying here. I think all these short-term buy is not likely to live too much before the downside continue, but all we can do now is wait for market to develop, right? So dollar CAD is going to be same thing as euro CAD, right? Same kind of double top, same bearish push down. Although there is some lower time frame, probably lower time frame push up, but are they really going to start going up like this? Not likely, in my opinion. It's what it's likely to do. It's going to be consolidation here a little bit longer before potential downside. So personally, I'm not looking to long these. Other than that, last two to touch up, pound dollar and pound yen. So pound dollar, we talk about potential on Monday when we talk about the weekly outlook. We talk about this potential bottom here, right? When price already dropped down to this low, remember this is the low that I talk about when price hits that we need to be very careful because if it doesn't break through and continue, likely to have a reversal. And we did have a reversal, and I was looking to see if this is going to be a bullish opportunity. It just never break up to complete this inverse head and shoulder. Had another move down to the low, but basically it's just forming another bottom here, right? We're not going lower than this low previously, right? There is no continuation to go lower. It's just all bullish reversal afterwards. So I'm kind of looking at this area here. I'm kind of looking at this area here to see what the price will do, right? This had a kind of a bullish impulse up. This can be a continuation correction. So this can even be a inverse head and shoulder pattern as well. So I think this is okay to possibly look for a buy. I think it's okay. I think euro dollar ultimately is a little bit cleaner when it comes to price action here. think euro dollar with this double bottom here, with the overall descending channel, again, filtering the process, filtering the trades. I think this one ultimately looks a little bit cleaner for the upside. Certainly, if the dollar is going to lose strength, they are all likely to move up, meaning losing dollar strength. No, but basically just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen here. If it breaks out here, continuation, I think it's fine. Um, I think for a breakout entry, it might be too big, right? Like almost 60 pip or so. I think that's a little bit bigger than how I would usually get involved in something like this. If it does break out and give you a smaller correction, I think that would be a much better entry. But again, how you enter and how much you risk, what is your management, all that is up to you and your trading plan. So make sure you have one of those. Make sure you're not just make sure you have a plan before you enter. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's pound dollar, pound yen. Pound yen, I'm a little bit iffy because it looks like the higher time frame is potentially a head and shoulder. But I remember on Monday I mentioned I'm only interested in the sell if it breaks below that neckline and continue, right? If this happens, if it breaks below, if a correction happens, then something to get involved is okay. But other than that, I'm not looking to clean for me personally. Now there is certainly something going on here on the lower time frame, right? It's going to follow pound dollar quite a bit, right? So it looks like there is a consolidation here. It looks like there is a reversal impulse. There's a correction here that is breaking out now. So if you're kind of into this, it looks like again, it looks like an inverse head and shoulder. I just prefer this will be like at the double bottom here, right? If this move was happening at the bottom here, that would be much better for me personally. Now, like obviously the market is not perfect, as I always say, right? But I'm just saying that if this inverse head and shoulder is at the bottom, or in fact basically broke the bottom and then reverts back up, I think will be a much better price action, and the buy here would be much better as well. But certainly it still has confluence. Certainly it's still kind of valid if that fits your plan to enter this potential long. Now, just be careful, all the yen pairs, as I say, a lot of these yen pairs are having this bullish reversal, yes, but the higher time frame still looks a little bit bearish to me, and I will be a little bit careful when we're trending these, meaning that if you're into these short-term buy, you need to make sure you take profit or move up stop loss, etc., to protect your trade and protect your capital. I think that is going to be make you more consistent in the long run, right? All right. So let's move on now, boys and girls. I think that's all the Forex pairs that everyone you guys talk about. So very good. Follow up everything. Good. So let's move on now. Can we go to gold or anything? Let's go to gold and silver, and then we'll go to indices and crypto. Okay. I will talk about BTC. Just give me a moment. I'm going to get to it in hopefully 10-15 minutes. But really, I only have silver and gold. I think silver could be something here happening. So let's talk about silver. So silver, kind of on my Monday, I mentioned about how price did push down and then looking like we can have a potential reversal, right? I like how we have an impulse move down and then a reversal impulse up. So if this is going to be a continuation, likely to push up the price, which is what I like to see here. Um, I haven't gotten this entry yet, but I am basically looking to enter this one. I think it's looking pretty clean. Impulse and move to the downside, reversal impulse, and this is a larger kind of parallel channel or flag, however you call it. I did see some of you guys caught the buy here as well. There's a descending channel to this double bottom. And if you bought on this, good job on your part. That if you secure this, I think it will be even better now if we can get a breakout or at least a consolidation here, and that we can potentially look for a long. I think it's looking clean right now. It's just whether or not we're going to get a consolidation finish here, and that can give you a buy opportunity to the high. So I'm patiently waiting for this one. I will set the alert here as well, and then that's kind of how I will look to enter this if it does happen. And pretty healthy risk reward even to this top here. I think it's about 5 or 5.721 or so. But looking at the higher time frame, right? Looking at the higher time frame, we're just at the bottom of this higher time frame structure. So impulse up, correction here, looking for the next move up from silver. After hitting this kind of low double bottom or triple bottom, after coronavirus pushed the price down, we have a massive impulse up. After an impulsive move, what happens? Corrected phase, right? So after the corrected phase, next impulsive move. Right, so silver is pretty much on my main watch list. I like silver. I like the price action. I think it's even slightly better than gold right now. I think gold is okay. Then gold does also have very good confluence. It's the same idea, right? Gold pushed to the downside just as expected, and then a reversal up move. So if it's going to form consolidation here, I do agree another up move is likely. It's I think a lot of people were talking about this buy here. So if you're going on the buy, you probably should take a break even, right? Because price pushed to the upside, kind of reverse back down, so you might get take out here for break even. Now don't be discouraged to think this is going to start dropping. Now we did see some lower time frame movement. Looks like there's a correction here to push the price. But as long as it's still within this area, like we can easily just form a bigger correction here before the next upside. So don't be down right away if the move hasn't pushed up yet. I think the up move is looking more clear than the down move potentially, unless this move just kind of push down to this low here and then correct like this, then forming and give you a head and shoulder to go down, then yes, all the buy potential or the buy confluence is no longer there. But until that happens, right? Until that happens, if we're just going to consolidate here a little bit longer, then expect the next up move from the price. So don't get caught up with gold so much. I see a lot of traders tend to lose money on gold rather than winning. And to me, trading gold will be the same as trading any other forex pairs. You just need to implement the same kind of methodology, same kind of strategy, same kind of management plan, etc. Right? Don't treat it any other things. Right? If nothing happens, then don't enter. Right? I find personally is more of a ego thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people trade gold because they think it's cool, right? It's gold, right? It's like the value, the commodities. When people ask you what you do, oh, I trade gold. It sounds cool. Really, that really doesn't matter, right? You're a trader because we want to be consistent, profitable trader in the long run. Like I'm not here to show off anything to as a trader, right? There's really nothing to show off here. There's always people who are better than you in different areas, different better trader than you are, right? So what's the point to give that people that idea? Oh, I trade this. I'm looking pretty cool and stuff. I just thought I'd explain this because I did get a few comments like this on gold, and people say, "Yeah, I only trade gold because like in my country everyone trades gold, and it's like pretty cool thing to say I trade gold." I'm like, well, no, trading is trading any commodities, any indices, any forex. It's just like trading anything else, right? So, anyways, looks like if we get a bigger consolidation, whether it's a consolidation here or maybe a bigger consolidation like this, I think it's fine. I think it's still looking for a potential upside from the price. Okay, so that's gold and silver. Any question here before I move on? Yeah, gold just went over. All right, so let's continue because I don't have too much on the indices. You guys know my view on indices is always being sell as long as we're in the higher time frame correction. Nothing changes from my point of view. Sorry, nothing changes from my point of view in terms of looking for a potential reversal. Now we have seen many times price did trying to reverse down, right? There's just always move that push down, but just never be able to push out of the correction yet. So they're pretty, how do I say, they're still in this larger consolidation kind of price action where I personally usually won't want to get involved in anything like this, right? Even though there is these bullish price action. And I always talk about, every time we talk about the indices, the only time I will change my view or bias is when price actually impulsively break up and then continue after. Unless that scenario happens, I'm going to hold my bearish kind of view or bearish bias until something changes. Okay, so it's just how I would manage or actively manage something situation like this. I'm not going to chase the high, right? Even though there's probably a bullish continuation here, this can push up higher, sure. But I mean, to me, this is very short term and short lived. If it pushes to the upside and then start forming consolidation here, then what do we expect? Same idea, right? Same consolidation, same push down. Because whether or not we are going to complete this higher time frame correction or not, right? It's that simple. But if we do enough backtesting, if we see enough price action play out, then we will know that a lot of these price action are doing the exact same thing, right? It was just a matter of time when this correction will finish on the higher time frame, then when just a matter of time when this potential correction or a crash can happen. But until then, you're just going to be very careful, right? You're not going to short on some random high test candle. You're not going to short because it hit the top of the trend line, whatever. Everything we do is based on price action, multi-time frame analysis, top-down approach, price action within price action, structures within structures. We see bearish reversal, things like that. That should be your checklist anytime when you need to enter a position. Make sure all those requirements are fulfilled before you consider an entry. If those are met, those conditions are not met, then don't bother enter, right? You're just wasting your capital. You're just basically entering trades when it's not valid and you're just losing more money than you win. Then that's not going to make you consistent in the long run. All right. Gold offers more reward than the same move. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Depends on what you want to trade. Generally, gold is going to cost more to trade for your broker, but obviously that varies different brokers or whatever. I think gold usually going to cost you more margin to trade, and silver is slightly cheaper when it comes to trading, when it comes to margin required to trade. So depending on your broker, if you have high leverage, then it really doesn't matter which one you choose. But if you have lower margin brokers or lower leverage offer, then you can choose silver. But I think they're generally pretty much the same when it comes to the price action itself. So that's continuing here, guys. No other question here on the indices. Let's move on to crypto to wrap it up. I don't have too much on crypto. I did talk about I personally got out of this position or two positions. First position got out for 1% profit. Second scaling position took a 1% loss. So basically just break even here. Now, certainly something can happen more, but maybe a bigger correction is needed now because we just broke the all-time high, right? This is the all-time high here. We managed to break the all-time high. So price already pushed up massively. It's bound to give you a bigger correction once we broke the high here. So maybe another consolidation here on, and I can look for another buy later on. Someone asked about Bitcoin. Now, I still reasonably think Bitcoin is pretty bullish. Again, my reasoning is very simple, right? After this bearish impulse down, this to me is a reversal correction. It's pretty clear to me that once this reversal correction breaks above, then we might start off the next bullish run of the price. Whether or not we're going to just start going up here slowly now, or we're going to form maybe a bigger correction here, either or, I think the bullish up move is much, much more probable, in my opinion. And I think it's better to get involved in something like this when you clearly see a higher time frame reversal, right? When the impulse move has happened, when this is not a continuation to go lower, it is a reversal correction, right? Remember we talk about market can only be in two phases, right? It can only be an impulsive move and can only be in a corrective phase, right? So after the impulsive move, correction happens, and either the correction is going to be continuation to go lower, or it can be a reversal correction to reverse the price. The market can only do two things, right? So make sure you understand, Do some chart work, do some back testing, and you'll understand impulsive move, corrective phase, impulsive move, corrective phase, impulsive move, corrective phase, impulsive move. If it form corrective phase, then next upside is likely. Okay. Do I think it's a big correction on Bitcoin? Well, I think the correction, personally, I think the correction has already happened. This is the correction that we're at right now, right? Now, depending on what's going to happen here, like there is some smaller correction here, as we can see, but are they enough for the price to push up higher, or are we going to get a bigger consolidation? To me, it's obviously hard to, tell right away or give you a straight answer. But I think either or, I would prefer a bigger correction here, like a bullish continuation, of course, right? Because this is a lower time frame impulsive move. So impulsive move, if it followed by a corrective phase, gives you a better probability of the next impulsive move. Now let's move on. I think someone asked me about Dogecoin a while ago, somewhere. I saw it. So Dogecoin, I think it's the upside move is looking pretty clean. Talk about Doge from the bottom here. This double bottom here, kind of descending structure, basically kind of push up on the prices forward, right? So this is pretty good for us if you're holding Dogecoin, if you're trading them. Now it basically comes down to if this is going to be a continuation correction. I like how we have that double bottom. We like that this impulsive move has happened. This is basically going to confirm if this is a bigger kind of bullish continuation, then expect this move to push up and then continue higher. Right, that's kind of what the current price action has been. So basically, give it a little bit of time to see if this is going to consolidate a little bit longer. If it does, it's better, right? Make sure you understand when the market is consolidating, all that is telling you it's preparing for the next impulsive move, right? That's how market moves, right? Always understand, backtest your market. When you see these things happen over and over and over again, it's only going to build confidence in your ability to analyze the market. It's only going to build more consistency in your trading because you're seeing the same thing play out over and over again. For those of people who are struggling in this concept, it's you got to tell yourself or you got to ask yourself, are you putting in enough time and effort on chart work and backtesting? If you're scared to enter, or if you're not seeing the same thing, or if you're having a hard time either having FOMO, fear of missing out, or fear of losing, ask yourself, are you putting in the time and effort? And there's no point lying to yourself now. You can tell everyone else like you did them, but deep inside, if you haven't done them, then you're lying to yourself, right? It's as a trader in the beginning, a lot of us do that, right? Myself included. But as I realized when you dig a little bit deeper, is that I know myself at the beginning of my trading career, how much time and effort I put in. For sure is not enough, right? So when you start putting in more time, when you start seeing things, when you start seeing better results, that's only going to build confidence in yourself and in your ability. All right. Other than that, what else is there to talk about? I think Ethereum could be something here. We did have Ethereum push up. I think we talked about this on Monday as well. Basically, just kind of seeing what this area is going to do. We did break this high here. So we did break that previous high here. Don't know if this is going to be a correction here. It's a little bit hard to tell. This might even be a head and shoulder here. But as long as we're still above that previous high, as long as price hasn't break below this low, then I think it's fine to kind of see this consolidation and see what's going to do. It might just consolidate here a little bit longer and give you another upside move. Other than that, I don't have too much crypto else. I think a lot more other crypto are basically forming that potential bullish correction, like here on Ripple. Like this is an impulsive move. Looks like there is a correction here now, right? We have a few swing highs and a few swing lows. So that's good for the price to potentially continue, just like every other ones that I have been seeing. Like this looks like this is a correction here that it's making. Cut the other one, they're all in this consolidation, which is good, right? Because you want to see consolidation after a strong impulsive move up, because that's going to give you a potential opportunity to continue the bullish price. So any question here on any of the crypto, boys and girls? Any question on any crypto that you want me to take a look at quickly before I go back to some questioning? Will Cardano return to all-time high? I mean, it broke all-time high already, right? So it's already broke the all-time high. This was the all-time high here. So to me, like I said, if a bigger consolidation happened here, which I am kind of expecting it to happen, then I'm definitely looking for another trade up, right? Again, make sure you understand trading and investing. Trading without, if you're trading, then you're not holding the physical coin, right? If you're investing, then you are, right? I always update everyone. I have Cardano since the bottom here. So I've been holding Cardano since here. So this is quite a big run already, but I can still trade them, right? I can trade them with or without leverage, depending on yourself. I think this is a good idea if we form consolidation here. Whether you want to buy more Cardano or whether you want to trade Cardano, I think it's a good valid area to potentially do that. AVAX. Yeah, I do agree. I don't usually look at personally. I when I trade crypto, I don't really usually look at crypto with crypto. I like to look at crypto with dollar or whatever. But it is looking kind of the same, in my opinion, when it comes to bullish price action. It looks like this is an impulsive up, right? This is a consolidation here. So this can easily maybe correct a little bit longer, but this upside move is promising and likely. So that's all good for a Ethereum bullish kind of price action. AVAX. Mentioned about it's more like so. Yeah, I like so. I like Solana. I think Solana had a really strong bullish push up from the price, and price action wise, it was looking pretty clean, right? You have an impulsive move, correction, large impulsive move. So big higher time frame impulsive move, we fall into this kind of a pennant or triangle kind of correction, and then we impulse up. This is correction after breakout, and then strong impulsive move. So similarly, is what you're saying is here on AVAX. Yeah, I mean, it's bullishly push up now. I think the only thing we need to worry about is this high here. Is it going to break the high and continue, or it might have a possibility of a reversal? But all that is just speculation. We're not seeing much development here yet, right? So give the price a little bit of time to correct whether or not it's going to consolidate here for the next up move, or is it going to just straight up break above that high and then continue afterwards? Either or, I think this high has to be broken. Just like Cardano, I think why Cardano is good because it clearly broke this all-time high, and consolidation here is very probable and very good to look for. Whether or not you're investing or whether or not you're trading, I think it's fine to look for opportunity here. Yeah, Ethereum gaining dominance over BTC. This is bullish for other altcoins. Yeah. That's all true. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't have to be the strongest, right? In the next 10 years, what people usually think Bitcoin should be continue upside or whatever. I mean, Bitcoin started crypto or is the main one, but maybe people will start allocating their assets into other coins, right? It's very, very, very normal, right, for that to happen. Um, it's very normal for the currency as well, right? So maybe 10, 20 years later, Bitcoin is no longer the dominant currency in crypto. It could be Ethereum, it could be any other cryptos, right? So nothing is for certain, nothing lasts forever, right? So We already went over all the Forex pairs. I went over gold as well earlier. So gold, I already went over. I mentioned about a few possibilities. I'm not looking to buy and sell at this moment. I will wait for a consolidation here, whether a smaller one or a bigger one like this, a bigger one like this. But either or, to me, I'm looking for bullish opportunity, but not buying right away in this kind of situation. I want a consolidation here, preferably for the next upside. It will be similar like silver in my opinion. I think silver is clean as well. I'm just kind of looking at silver, this kind of buy. I will set alert here and I will look for entry or set the entry order for the up move here. My friend, you were late, Samuel Boyce. I already went over Forex and I go over Forex every single time in every single stream, right? I always start in the same order. Forex, crypto, Forex, commodity, indices, and crypto. That is my order every time when I do the streams. Do I trade crypto or buy or hold? Both. I do both for crypto. Like I said, I have Cardano holding from the bottom here. I would trade them as well. I It depends on you and how you want to do this, but trading and investing is totally two different things, right? So make sure we all understand that. Trading, you're actually holding the physical coin in your wallet or whatever, private one, however you guys want. Trading, you don't hold the coins, right? You're just buying and selling based on speculation. With or without leverage, that's your choice. UK 100. UK 100 sell. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's in this consolidation, and I do agree. This is more looking like it can be a reversal rather than continuation. But I think it's at this given moment, I really don't see too much in terms of a sell bias or a bearish kind of price action. But I do agree there is structure here. I do agree that this move has already gone too much, where a correction is needed. If it consolidates here a little bit longer, do you agree a downside is likely? But preferably, if we can break this low and continue, then we're gonna see more downside, right? Because what can price do sometimes is a move to the downside here and then reverse back afterwards. Sometimes that happens as well. So we want to make sure the correction in this consolidation is finished. And then if we can break lower, that will actually confirms that this is a reversal. At this given moment, it's hard for me to say there is a sell opportunity, except there is a double top here. But this area hasn't given me that much confluence to look for a sell at this yet. Maybe there's something going on here, but it hasn't really given me a good validation here yet. DAX, yeah, DAX I would probably be the similar because again, similar kind of ascending structure like, right? We know this is typically giving you a potential reversals, right? And if we look at how the price has was before, right? This is when coronavirus happened, and you're basically creating the same structure if we know it, right? Like if we see, this is what I talk about the U.S. indices a lot of times. They are moving. They're always going to move up correctively, and then they're going to have a sharp reversal. That's just how the market crash happens, right? And you're basically seeing the same thing here, right? You're basically seeing the same kind of potential correction here. Whether or not this is going to drop like that, don't. I doubt it's going to drop like this, like coronavirus. That's a different thing. But I do agree that, or I do potentially see a market correction or push down on the price. I think that's likely. I don't think it's going to drop like this, right? Every time, every stream when I talk about, I don't expect a market crash like this, right, in a short period of time, right? But I do expect a correction. I do expect a little bit of sell, and then see what the price will do when it reaches the bottom here. Okay, so any other question, boys and girls? Any other question on anything today? before I wrap it up, it will be a shorter stream today. By the way, I'm going on a small vacation today, going to Whistler today. So gonna be away from charts at least 1 or 2 days. I'll see you guys, of course, on weekends when I do my recap videos and on my next week weekly outlook. But I am going on vacation this today. So what is different? Scale in and make an order entry. I have videos on that. So go on my YouTube. Go on my playlist, price action playlist. Scale in entry, or maybe sorry, it might be in the risk management. How to scale in the impulsive phase of the market condition. You can watch this video and ask me a question after. But basically, you want to scale in. A lot of people. Okay, let me put it this way. A lot of people scale in differently. All right, there's no right and wrong when it comes to, but you should have a good risk management. Meaning that if you want to scale in personally, I will want to make sure my first initial position is at least break even, at least. Okay, so the most I can lose from two position is -1%, right? Like you want to make sure your first position is at least break even, so you're not taking two losses. You're not making this a 2% loss, whatever. You're just making sure you're capping your risk. In fact, if your first position can be at 1-to-1 profit, then even if your second position end up in a loss, then you're just at break even, right? It's very similar, like it's the same as Cardano when I enter. So if I enter first position, and then if I'm going to enter the second position, I move my stop loss to break even or to 1-to-1 profit. And in this case, if second trade loses, I'll lose 1% on the second trade. I'll be +1 on the first trade. So it just balances it out to be a break even, right? But again, this is all up to the trader's trading plan, discretion, and all that, right? Some people, they like to enter multiple positions, and that's in their own trading plan. I don't recommend doing that, but again, it's up to the person and their plan, right? You don't want to put too much exposure at your account if you're going to enter multiple positions, like what social media usually shows. Um, I don't think it's a good practice if you have a larger account. Maybe if someone has a smaller account, they're trying to grow. I don't want to say it's wrong, but I mean, if you have a larger account, you naturally wouldn't be scaling in that many positions because you're putting your account at risk, right? So that's me. That's personally how I see this. I already reviewed Forex, my friend. You just have to rewatch the beginning of this YouTube. You're on YouTube, right? So you can rewatch right now. Just scroll forward. I went through all the Forex pairs already, so you can take a look again. But I will kind of point out a few things. But I did go over all the Forex market. So when scaling when scaling in on existing position if at higher risk, of course, right? Because you're just putting one extra position on the same pair, right? It's the same as why we talk about we don't enter so many dollar position at the same time, because if the dollar, imagine if the dollar is going to push up higher, and if you're buying, sure, you're gonna make more profit, but if the dollar is gonna drop, then all your positions are gonna go to a loss, right? It's just how it is. So don't let typical social media fool you about like people entering like 10, 20 positions at once. They can all be demo account, they can all be fake, right? They can all be just smaller positions. You don't know what's going on, right? So don't let that fool you, right? You want to be able to scale in a position when your first position is at least break even, because you're doubling your risk now on the same currency pair, right? So you want to make sure at the end of the day, you need to have capital to trade. Why do you, there's so many traders who end up blowing their account because of this, right? Think about why people blow their account. Well, over risking, over leverage, over trading, right? That's why people blow their accounts. When if someone's new into trading, or like, how can someone blow their account? Well, only after that trader blow the account, then they realize, oh, that's why people blow their accounts. Over trading, over risking, over leverage, that is why people blow their account. So you gotta understand While if the trade goes in your favor, sure, you're gonna make all that money. That is right. But it only takes the trade to go against you for you to lose all the trade as well. And the problem here is if you lose all these positions, what are you gonna do next? Typical trader, revenge trade right away. You start buying bigger lot positions, start chasing back their losses, only for the market to just slap you in the face and then take out all your money. Right? I've seen that kind of cycle just too often, over and over again. And I coach and mentor many students, and that's usually their downfall when they tell me about why they lose account or why they blow the account, and that's really a fact, right? I can't say any more at this point except letting you guys know that is what's the case, right? It's up to each individual trader to acknowledge that is the case, right? I can only share my opinion, experience, and things like that, but it's up to the trader to recognize that, right? So I have been off IG lately. Thanks, Herman. I appreciate the follow. Maybe I'll make a video today or tomorrow or whatever. So I will be posting. What lot size do you use? Never the same, right? You need to have a good risk management. Usually I talk about 1% per trade, right? That's always what you need to do. But again, every time I talk about this, different people have different opinion. So I don't try to convince anyone. All I'm telling you is if you have, let's say your account is $1,000, you would risk 1%, which is $10. It's pretty simple, right? And that's how you would do it. So let's say if you have $100,000 account, you would risk $1,000 per trade, right? Same idea. 1% doesn't change. Nothing changes from trading. This is probably the beauty of trading is that if you're consistent, it doesn't matter if you trade $1,000 position or if you just trade $10. The move is going to happen regardless of your position size, regardless how much you're risking. That is how trading is. So I always trying to tell people, instead of trying to double your $100 account or trying to make it into like 300, 400, whatever, be consistent first, because if you can be consistent on your $100 account, you can be consistent on your $100,000 account. It's pretty normal. Okay, but a lot of traders fail to understand this concept. They always try to turn their small money into a larger account, and it usually backfires because they need to overtrade, over leverage, and over position themselves into blowing the account. Okay, I have to say this sincerely because that's what I've been saying all these years, but I still encounter traders who fall into that, right? So how do I one-on-one sessions? Yeah, I do, Herman. You just need to look at my thing. Like I have few things here you can watch, but mostly all my content is free, right? Anybody can learn from my YouTube, from my trading view, from my Telegram. I post all my analysis, educational videos, Outlook, and things like that from Telegram, from TradingView, from YouTube as well, right? A lot of people just actually learn for free, right? I mean, if you want these sessions, of course, you can message me and we can talk about it. But I always suggest people to go through my content free first and then see if that makes sense to you. See if this kind of way to analyze the market or trade is suitable for you, the more consistent approach. It may not be fast like people who scalp or whatever the case, but at the end of the day, you need capital to trade. That's always what I tell people is you can potentially make more money by scalping, by doubling by taking multiple positions, whatever. But you're also putting your account at a greater risk, right? So I always talk about understand the pros and cons, right? Good and bad. Everything you do in trading is a double-edged sword, right? There's always pros and there is always cons. So by trading more positions, certainly there is going to be more money, but the cons is you're going to put your account at a greater risk, right? That is just how it is. You cannot possibly have gain a bunch of money without putting your account at a more risk. That just doesn't make sense, right? Imagine someone who trade a lot and making steady money but entering multiple positions. But all it takes is for the market to reverse and all these positions are at a loss, right? And that's what the risk is by entering that many positions. And we're humans. We tend to be a little bit emotional. We're only going to look at the bright things. We don't look at the down things. So of course we might think, well, the market keep going up, then obviously buying more positions are going to make me more and more money. Of course it does, right? That's logical. But what if the market reverses, or when you enter these positions and start dropping, then you're basically putting your account at a greater risk, right? And again, we are humans. We're emotional, right? We're emotional animals. So we don't like to accept failures. We don't like to accept losing. So when the few trades gone against you to your loss, people tend to get emotional, stressed, negative, and they want to make back the money, and it falls into a gambling, what they call a gambler's fallout. I think that's the term. It's basically when you lose more money, all you want to do is chase back your money, and you basically throw your trading plan, risk management out the window because all you think about is, I need to make back all the losses I just have. And you're just gonna revenge trade, right? We talk about this in psychology videos I talk about, right? There's a lot. This is what revenge trading is, right? Over leverage, revenge trading, fear of missing out. All these are the combinations of why traders fail because when they start losing, all these factors kind of pump out, and they can't control themselves by gambling their money and trying to chase back their losses, right? So. Don't forget to take pictures of videos of you on the vacation. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate that. Do I use MT4, MT5? I don't use neither. I actually use I trade on Oanda, right? So Oanda has their own platform. Like either I can link here like Oanda here with TradingView, or I can trade on web browser. It's the same idea. But I don't use MT4 or MT5. I don't like MT4, no offense. I think MT4 is quite outdated when it comes to this. I would prefer to use the broker's own platform. Like there's brokers who have their own platforms, right? Like Oanda, FXCM, Forex.com, IC Markets, Saxo Bank, the list goes on, right? I would prefer to use the broker's individual platform rather than MT4. I think MT4 is just too outdated and it's not efficient. That's me personally though, right? Of course, it's up to your preference. If you're happy to use MT4, then use MT4. It's fine. Oh, sorry, I missed this. How do you pick which crypto to trade? Again, it's the filtering process, right? I made this video about filtering. Make sure you watch that as well on risk management, how to filter trade opportunities. If the multiple setups are presenting entries, watch this video and ask me a question if you have. But basically, you're filtering the best couple to focus on. It's the same as currency, right? You focus on the best dollar, or you focus on the best yens, or etc. Right? That's all you need to do. Any other last minute question, boys and girls, before I wrap up today? So like I said, I'm only in this euro dollar positions. I closed down my Cardano positions for pretty much break even for both trades. But I am only running euro dollar right now. I did have, like I said, I did have a scaling position here. My stop loss is at 1% still lost. Like I almost got tagged out here. If you can see, like I was like maybe like 2 pips away or something, surprisingly. When I woke up in the morning, I think the price was like somewhere here already. But like it was literally like 2 pips away. So my stop loss was at 1.1725, right? So I was like literally actually 1 pip away. Holy, pretty shocking that I didn't get taken out here, but surprisingly I'm still in. So can't complain here. And it's about break even. I'm fine to see if this is going to be a consolidation to push out, right? Happy journey, bro. Yeah, my friend. This is trading is all about journeys, everyone. No matter what. So think about like this. Compare yourself. Don't compare yourself with other traders. Always compare yourself with yourself. Meaning you're looking at your past progress, your past history or experience, and you compare yourself a year ago and see how much improvement you have made. This year is my eighth 8 year in trading, so definitely better than the previous year, and the previous year is better than the previous year, right? So it's kind of how you see it. Don't compare yourself with others because you will get upset and you will get stressful. Like if we're gonna compare with a trader who are doing much, much better, you're only gonna create stress and anxiety in yourself. Just compare with yourself because there's no point compared to others. If you're gonna compare to others, why aren't we comparing ourselves with like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, right? They're billionaire. There's no point comparing yourself with others who are doing so much better. Compare with yourself, and your journey is going to help you to push yourself to the next level. Best as in what's been around the longest. I noticed you didn't have some really high volume crypto names. Actually, I tend to focus the bigger cap, right? You can see on my watch list, I only stay with the bigger cap ones, right? All the ones I point out, they're going to be the bigger cap ones, right? I actually don't trade any smaller crypto or hold any smaller crypto. I'm only trading and holding the bigger ones. I think if you that's what you meant by volume, or maybe not. Maybe I'm talking about market cap. You're talking about volume, so there's difference there. But I'm only getting involved in the bigger market capitalization ones. So don't you think brokers will manipulate you on the platform? I think that's just a controversial topic, but I don't think so. Personally, now obviously different people have different opinion on this. I don't think brokers are manipulate. I use OnDot for like years now. Now it tends to be people who. I'm not saying this about you. I'm just being in general. Traders tend to blame a lot of things when they lose money. Okay, they tend to blame the market, they tend to blame the broker, they tend to blame their strategy, they tend to blame anything, right? I honestly don't think manipulation. I honestly don't even think there is such thing as uh, stop loss hunting. But again, when I talk about this topic, people usually fight against that. I personally don't think there is stop loss hunting at all. But I think it's just a way a trader kind of justify their losses because they lost or whatever. Is there stop loss hunting? You can watch this video and you can give me your feedback on it. But I personally don't think there's stop loss hunting. I don't think brokers will manipulate price. I think it's all up to that trader's mindset to whether or not they give themselves reason to think that way. That's me personally. Great, great. Happy vacation. I will. How many did you blow up your account before? I probably think in the beginning year, I probably blow up like 2 accounts, and then I never blow up any accounts after that. But I think it's fine blowing the accounts, everyone. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but if you don't blow an account, you will never learn. Let's be honest, right? If you never get into a drawdown, if you never lose money, you will never learn from your mistakes. And so you basically have to blow accounts to learn, right? So roughly on average, how much do you make? I think I average about 6 or 7% a month. So this is my month. This month is actually pretty well. I caught some big moves like cat yen, um, Kiwi Swiss, and dollar yen. I think those are bigger positions. This year so far, I do journal. I post every single trade on my Telegram, every single trade in terms of result and losses. So far, I'm making about 6 to 7% a month. I think that's exactly what I want so far. And you just let the compound interest do the work, right? I'm sure there's people who make much better, and that's fine. Again, I'm not comparing myself with any other except myself. Again, if you have larger account, all you want is consistency. You're not trying to double your large account because it will usually backfires. You're trying to be consistent, making a consistent return, and you consistently compound your account. That's how consistent traders do. Oh, great to hear that. You only become somewhat consistent after discovering your content. Yeah, good for you, my friend. So, crypto watch list. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have too much. I know there's like hundreds other crypto, but you can see I only really focus on the bigger market capitalizations. I don't have any smaller one. Maybe there's some smaller one here, but I only have bigger cap ones, right? So. Anyways, if there is no other question, boys and girls, I will be closing the stream soon in a minute, unless there's any last minute questions. I like these interactions and I don't mind answering these questions. I don't mind discussing some topics. Again, that's just a lot of these are more my opinion, right? You know, some people ask about the broker, some people ask about manipulation, things like that. I'm not trying to convince anyone here. I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts or my opinion on them. Surely doesn't have to be the right? I'm very open for discussion, very open for constructive criticism as well. That's how we're going to grow and learn. But I kind of share my opinion on those aspects. Again, it's trading. It's a perspective thing, right? It's your mindset perspective. If you think something is happening, then your brain will make a visualization of it. But if you don't think that's the case, then your brain won't visualize it. That's what makes us human, right? So you hear a term about trading is 10% technical and 90% psychological. Yeah, I probably agree with that statement, right? A lot of things you do it's all in your head. So your brain or your head is actually the one that's preventing you from reaching the goal that you want to do. So if that's the case that you're experiencing, then work on that aspect so you can um, beat your brain, so to speak, right? You need to beat your brain and then continue. So Luna, AVAX, top 20. Okay, good to know, my friend. I'll add those in. Oh, I had Luna before. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why they was taken out. So ICP. Okay, good to know, my friend. Appreciate that. Where do I think I'll close euro dollar? It all depends on price action. So it all depends on your management as well, right? So my initial target, I mean, if we look at euro dollar here, my initial target is right. So looking at euro dollar here, my target first will be kind of at the top here to see what the price will do. So this descending structure that the price is currently in, we have this double bottom here, and I like how there is a smaller descending channel moving the price down. So in here, we can clearly see that there is a push up on the price here, which is good. So I basically want to see what the price will do when it reaches this high and this high first. If it's going to impulsively break up and then continue, then obviously I'm going to hold the trade. But there's always a tendency of price hitting this top and then start reversing. Then I will determine if I'm going to move up my stop loss or just exit the position once I see this lower time frame reversal. Same thing is when the price does hit this top of the descending structure. Same idea is just going to see if it's going to break out and then continue higher. Then I'm going to hold the trade. But if it's not, when we start seeing reversal kind of price action, then move up my stop loss or move and way to exit the position in profit, right? It's just how we trade. Because while we all want the price to impulsively up, we also understand it doesn't move in a straight line. It can move up and create bigger consolidation and then next move up, etc. Right? So no point to hope in trading, right? Trading is all about kind of reacting to what the price is doing. And we have management plan, we have exit plan, we have exit management, and we follow our trading plan accordingly. The worst thing that a trader can do is basically make decision based on emotion, right? Based on emotion, meaning like when the trades are pushing down, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna exit here, and then just to see the trade pop up, and you're gonna enter here, and then just to see the trade drop down. A lot of traders go through this process when the price is in the consolidation, when the price isn't moving too much up and down, people tend to get scared or people they tend to get affected by it. But just don't look at the chart every single second, right? I only look at the chart like 3 times during the day. Like right now during the New York session, I will look at the market again during rollover time before Asia opens, and then I will look at the market again around 10 o'clock at night for my time, just before London session opens. Other than that, I don't really check my phone, or I don't really check on my broker. I don't really check on TradingViews app either, because the more time you look at the charts, the more you look at the price, the more emotional you're going to be, the more attachment you're going to be to your trades. Think about this, like if you have a smaller account looking at the money going up and down, it's not too much, right? But if you have a larger account, like you see this money changes often, it's just going to be very stressful seeing this money going up and down, left and right, and things like that. It's just eliminate all that emotion. It will make you a better, consistent trader. Okay. Cool, my friend. Thanks for the follow-up with Twitter, buddy. All right, so that is it for me. I'll see how euro dollar continue go maybe next couple of days or maybe next couple of hours. If it is to start dropping, right, then I already I'm gonna move up this actually. Good idea before I finish. I'll move up this to uh, 79. Yes, okay. So basically now what I did is my first position stop loss at 1 to 1, and then second position stop loss is still at -1. So if this was to drop down like this, then my scaling position will be tag out for -1, and my initial position will be +1. So they will just cancel each other out, and now I'm risk free, right? So when I go on my vacation, when I go driving, I don't need to worry about this. I don't need to look at the chart. I am safe and good to go, right? So. You're welcome. Thank you very much. So that is it for me, boys and girls. I hope everyone is safe out there. I hope everyone is safe and doing well. And I will see you guys all next week. I will share some videos or photos of my trip. So I appreciate someone brought that up. I've been not posting too much on Instagram, but I will do that. But appreciate everyone going with other friends as well. Or actually, I'm going with a friend who also have a family, because I have a young daughter that we're going to go up to Whistler. So going to enjoy a little bit of getaway there. But on the weekend, I'll always make my recap video. So I always make recap videos on every single trade that I open and close or still running. I think that's helpful for anybody to learn about trading and how, what the entry is, stop loss, take profit, management, etc. And hopefully put in an educational video as well. I have a few videos that I have in mind to make. I just didn't get the time to. I will make a video on properly using trend lines to identify price action structures, and also in the process of making a video about how and when to move up the stop loss to break even or in profit. That is usually a bigger topic or a question that I usually get. Again, that's a very broad topic, and a lot of people have different opinion on that. So I'll share my opinion and experience on this particular topic, moving stop loss to break even or profit, and when or how, and what is the best way to do. All right. Where can I find time for all the different sessions open? I'll tell you this right now, Joey. New York session, it's gonna be like New York session. It's 13:30 GMT. I don't know if you want to write this down. New York session 13:30 GMT. Okay, and Asia session I would say is like 23 o'clock or 00 o'clock GMT. London session, I would say like 0700 GMT or 0800 GMT, around those time. So you basically have the three sessions. Some of them overlap each other, like New York, like London and New York, or overlap. But those are the three sessions in GMT time. When we'll be back on holiday, I'll be back on Friday. Awesome session. Till next week. Great. Can you make a video on how you analyze? I have a bunch of video on this. You can check out my playlist. If you haven't watched any of these workshop videos, you should. These are hours and hours and hours long. They basically explain every single thing I do, every single strategy, every single analysis, how I do and how I trade. You can watch this entire video or all these workshop videos and anything in this price action playlist. You want to learn everything that I do, it's all free and it's all in here. What's happening in the world? I'm not flying, right? First of all, I'm not flying. I'm just driving locally in Vancouver. So Whistler to Vancouver is not flying, first of all. All of us are double vaccinated. Again, this is a topic I don't really want to talk about vaccination. People have different opinion on it. But I am vaccinated. I am going to locally, nothing. It's not a travel restriction or anything like that. So yeah, enjoy and have fun, boys and girls. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and feel free to message me on any other platform or in Telegram if you haven't joined my Telegram. You can join my chat group as well. There we have like 800 people in there that discuss things. Or if you don't want all the notification, you just join my regular channel. I have about 3,200 people in there. So that's where I share all my links, ideas, analysis, educational videos, updates, things like that, right? I don't bombard you with things that people usually do. There's nothing promotional or advertising here either. Okay. All right, everyone. So I am going to wrap it up today. Very good session. Nice to see a lot of familiar faces and new faces as well. Appreciate that. And I hope everyone is safe, happy, and hope to see you guys all next time. All right. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your week.